March is the month of the big coffee break with the Meningitis Trust. And here from the Meningitis Trust is Christine Hughes. Hello, Christine. Good morning to you.
How are you?
And you've got a lovely sunny disposition, which we like on a Monday morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
March is a pretty busy and a pretty good month for the Meningitis Trust, isn't it?
Yeah, this is one of our biggest fundraising events that we do. We've been running it now for the last 16 years, so this is our 16th year. And it raises a lot of money for the Meningitis Trust, and it also allows people to have a good event and get together and raise some money for us.
Which is brilliant, and rather than it just being focused on one day, we got the whole of the month this time. So what do we want people to do this year?
Well, it can be run on any day, any time. In the evening time, we have some supporters who do it in evening time as well.
Yep.
We do say March, but if people say, well, we can't do it in March, we can only do it in April, or we can do it in September.
It's a bit longer March
that's
than
fine.
February though, isn't it? Which is
Absolutely, it crams another week in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
If people want to take part in the coffee break, well, obviously they can go onto our website, which is www.meningitis-trust.org, and click on the coffee break, and then we send them a complete pack.
Yeah, we can see hopefully some of the pack. We've got a little picture here because we've got all the pieces on the desk. So we send out, you send out posters, which you can see in the background there. There's coasters, there's balloons, there's little information leaflets there. So it really is, it's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really simple. We try and provide with people as much as we possibly can. The only thing that we ask people to provide really is the coffee, the cakes and the biscuits. And you know, once they've got the pack, they can send their invitations out, friends, family, community groups if they've got one, and run their coffee break.
And people love it. I mean, this is great, not only for the Meningitis Trust, but it's great for communities, isn't it? I mean, we just don't get together, you know, even just get a few neighbours together that you don't see. I mean, I know, I live around 7 or 8 different houses, and we only usually get together maybe once a year if there's a big commotion outside or something happens, or maybe around Christmas time we might all get together for a drink. Other than that, we just see each other, you know, hello, hi, morning, you know, and that's it. So this is a really good opportunity, a good excuse to get everyone together for a chinwag, isn't it?
It
really
is, and people obviously, you know, they like to come together. People like to drink coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee's our biggest drink now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been to coffee breaks in the past where people provided latte, cappuccino, decaf. People really go to town, and it's great to pull your friends together who we haven't seen for a while. Have a chinwag and raise some money at the same time.
Superb. Let's talk briefly about what the work that the Meningitis Trust does, of course. And then we were talking actually before we came on air. Meningitis is something that we see in the news in terms of very young children, but they're not the only people who can suffer meningitis, are they?
No, there's quite a bit of a misconception where that's concerned, Derek, that the 3 main age groups that actually can contract meningitis are children under the age of 5 are really at risk, especially small babies till their immune systems are properly fully
And they're the
formed.
ones that we generally see in the headlines, aren't they?
They
grab
make the headlines.
Yes.
Then the other age group, which are even more at risk than those babies, to be honest with you, are the student population, the sort of teenagers.
Why would they be more susceptible, do you think?
Well, especially the student population. 1 in 10 of us generally carry the meningitis bacteria at the back of our throat.
It lays dormant, doesn't it?
It does. We don't develop it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't travel to the brain and cause meningitis. But in the student population, it's actually 3 in 10.
Right.
So they've got a significant more chance of contracting the disease.
Right.
And that's because they're coming together with people they haven't been with before. The bugs and bacteria pass more frequently in the student population because they live in more close proximity.
Right, okay.
And then the other age group is the over 55 age group.
And again, that's something we don't hear a lot about. We don't hear of older people in their 50s, 60s, 70s contracting meningitis, but it's quite common.
It is quite common. Over 55, our immune systems are on the depletion.
Right.
As if you haven't got enough to cope with when you get to that age. So obviously we're more susceptible to the bugs and bacteria that we're presented with, and we're not able to fight them off. So people at that age or over that age group are more susceptible to meningitis.
Now, treatments these days are a lot more effective, aren't they? It's come a long way, hasn't it? But from a real lack of understanding to now almost a full treatment, isn't it? But there are still after effects if you've suffered meningitis, and that's where you come in, really, isn't it? The Meningitis Trust.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that you either live or you die from this disease, and obviously the worst case scenario is that you lose your life. But with meningitis, a lot of the time, children will have after effects, older people will have after effects, limb loss, hearing loss, behavioural problems, memory problems, concentration, liver, kidney damage, You know, they can sometimes develop cerebral palsy after the disease. So it's not just a case of, right, they've had meningitis, let's move on. A lot of the time they can't because they've had after effects, and that's where the trusts come in.
So money raising, fundraising, of course, is a very of vital importance to the trust. It's the mainstay of what you do. The money that you raise, what kind of support does it offer on a day-to-day basis to people who have experienced or are still living with the after effects of meningitis?
We provide a really good range of support services, because a lot of the time your loved one and your family are discharged at the hospital and they're just left in the mire, and that's where the trusts come in. And we can do an excellent counselling service to help people come to terms with what happened, especially if you've lost a loved one.
Does it bring people together with other people who have suffered as well,
Yep.
so they understand, they've been there?
Absolutely. It's someone else that can relate to how you're feeling and what you've been through. We do wonderful family days every year where we bring families together who've had an experience. And it's really nice for the mums and dads to sit there and talk to another mum and dad who's sat by their children's bedside.
Yeah, you say as well that you've got an event in Blackpool, haven't you, at the end of March? So a day out at the seaside, bringing some families together.
Absolutely. I probably bring together between about 15 and 20 families together, so the day will be manic, as you can imagine.
Great day in Blackpool.
Absolutely. And the families will come together, the children will be looked after and entertained all day, and parents will have a chance to meet other parents and say, yeah, I know how you're feeling.
And just chat in a relaxed environment where you're out having fun and but just sharing those experiences. It's so important, isn't it?
It's really important, and it's also important for the sisters and brothers as well who've gone through that with their sister and brother, to be able to speak to other children about what their family has been through.
Definitely.
They're the forgotten people in all of this, really, the sisters and brothers. So we're hoping for a good day, and hope the sun shines.
Well, it's the first of the month. How many days are there in March? Anyone? 30, is it? 31 in March. I can never remember, can you? So 31 days there are in March to get involved in this as well. Let's just remind people how they do it. First of all, you apply for one of these packs, don't you? That's the first step, isn't it? And in the pack is everything you need: balloons, coasters, posters, all sorts. Oh, that rhymes as well, which is good. All the information comes in the pack. So how do we get hold of packs, Christine?
Well, you can go online, and on the front page of our trust website at the moment, it's got coffee breaks. You just click on there, and then it just orders your pack straight away. The pack will come. If you haven't got enough invitations, if you need more coasters, we can send all that out to you, not a problem at all. Or you can ring our coffee break helpline, which is 0845 120 4530.
Lovely.
And you can order your pack off there.
Superb. And I tell you what, as soon as we've come off air from this morning's programme, I'll make sure all of those details are on the blog on our website as well, which is shine-tv.co.uk. But do get involved, because it's so simple. You call a number, you get onto the website, you apply for a pack, you get a few people together, friends, family, neighbours, work colleagues, whatever it may be, get a bit of a coffee break together and raise some funds for the meningitis trust. It couldn't really be easier, could it?
No.
And you got a whole month within to do it.
No excuses.
Absolutely. Christine, thank you so much for your time this morning. I know it just flies by, 10 minutes, but thank you so much. I think we've learned a lot there, haven't we, in particular, how you can get involved in that as well. So Christine, thank you so much for your time. Fantastic. That's so easy. Now remember, if you want to get onto the website, I will just give you the details right now. It's meningitis-trust.org. meningitis-trust.org. I'll make sure all the details are on our very own website as well a little bit later on, which